And welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host, Ian Duncan. My pronouns are he, him. And I am playing Sonny Takasi, the ghoul merchant of the waste, and here to play along with me, please welcome Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes.
Hello, dear friends. It's good to be back. My name is Xavier. I play Lance Burnett. Our pronouns are he, him. And yeah, let's get on a boat.
We're on a boat, bitch. Let's do this.
You guys remember that thing? Just before the lockdowns happened. Like last summer, I went to a wedding reception on a boat. And you could tell that everybody wanted to ask the DJ to put that song on, and he would roll his eyes.
And then he played it 10 times in a row.
Not a single time.
He locked it down.
Yeah.
I just remember boats. Hey y'all, you remember boats?
It's been a while.
Period. Yeah. Well, on our boat as well. She's very buoyant, and we're very glad that she is. Please welcome Susan Spenader.
Hi. I'm Susan. I go by she, her. I will be playing Gerry, the nomadic survivor of the waste. Fun fact, I got married on a boat, and we did play that song at my reception.
What was the DJ's reaction?
The DJ was so fun. They were like, yeah!
Good, professional.
Yeah.
Those are the two DJs you get. You get no one's touching my playlist and whatever, let's do it. Also in our little boat playlist here, we're so glad to have her. Please welcome Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie, she, her. I play Trish, the NCR soldier, and I'm excited to play. It kind of looks like I'm underwater.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, for anyone who's listening, Jamie has this really cool like nebula light behind her, and it's like it's this like blue color, so it's like this caustic, like it's almost like she's in an aquarium or something like that, and it's like playing on the wall. It's very cool. Yes. The biggest boat of them all, the cruise ship, if you will, on this wasteland adventure. Please welcome our overseer, Alex Herrera.
Hello, I am Alex Herrera. Pronouns he, him. And we are definitely getting into some boat action, but I think you guys forget that you have to get to the boat first. Seems like everyone keeps forgetting that fact.
What?
With the magic of storytelling, you could already be there.
Cut to the boat. Hey, we did it, everyone. We did it. Congrats.
Like a dissolve wipe, we're there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It just goes 3 p.m. The boat. Text on the screen. We made it.
No.
Well, then, if we've got a little journey on our hands to get to our aquatic vehicle, I say we just jump right in. Let's do this. Alex, please take us into the Evergreen.
The sun's rays touch pieces of debris scattered across a field or an area mixed of asphalt, grass, blood, smoke, and corpses. The majority of these corpses are wearing what is easily recognizable as raider gear. There are also strewn about large chunks of what appeared to be at one point motorcycles. And there's a slight hum coming from some of these as their reactors, their nuclear cores are still intact, or their atomic cores are still intact within some of these, if not all the bikes, maybe I think one of them, give or take. The party stands looking on as the survivors of the settlement continue to remove debris, try and reassemble the damaged buildings which can be reassembled, and others clearly are trying to administer medical aid to some of the guards who survived the battle. The settlement's leader, Sam, the mayor, has already gone off to begin his work as not only leader but also medical caretaker of the settlement, leaving the group with Ernest, or Ernie, as he's going to be called from now on. We can leave now, but he'll look at Lance, looking at his arm. You probably need to get that taken care of. Unless you think you can travel with that.
I can probably take care of it on the way. Yeah, we should get going.
Gerry, you were pretty confident you could drive one of those bikes, weren't you?
She kind of like tilts her head to the side. I mean, maybe?
What happened to all that confidence? You were like, let's jump on a bike. Okay, you know what? Never mind.
I'm not even sure we left any of these bikes operational. I don't think they're operable.
I was thinking maybe that the mechanics of driving a bike may also translate to driving a boat. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I always wanted to drive a boat. You ever listen to any Kenny Loggins? Before your time.
Yeah, 200 years before anyone's time. Well, Coach, I need to take you guys to the spot, essentially. So yeah, when you guys are ready, just come find me. I'll be hanging out. And he looks back to like the north, where the little like the guardhouse was, near the old abandoned school that was used as the barracks for the guards. And he looks and sees that some of it's kind of wrecked. I'll be in the barracks, or what's left of them.
Wait a second, Ernie. And then she puts a hand on his arm. You more than proved yourself today. So you graduated. You're the coach now.
His eyes go wide. What? I'm the coach. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, I gotta tell the guys. And then he slowly like puts his hand down. Oh well. And he looks around, and as everyone kind of catches his eyes, you all look to where he's looking at, and you see the other, I believe, only 2 other surviving members
Roxy
of the
Jr.
guards.
Senior.
Okay, so 3. There's 3, so 4 in total. But the other 3 who are assisting people, kind of ushering them away from the majority of like the destroyed bikes, so they don't get any radiation poisoning. He'll kind of like, you see them kind of motioning them away, and all of our gazes return back to Ernest. This is great news. And he puts his hand up. Thanks, Coach. Well, thanks, Miss Gerry.
No, thank you, Coach. And a firm handshake.
His face is just beaming as he shakes your hand. And he nods and runs off to the other guardsmen who are still alive, who are assisting with the keeping people clear of the wreckage. So, you want to say your goodbyes. Everyone is pretty much just working, trying to clean up some semblance of the center. Yeah, go ahead.
First, before we all break apart, Sonny turns to Trish and he says, Trish, we wouldn't have gotten out of this alive without you. Thanks for that.
We all worked pretty well as a team.
Yeah, I think so. About that, you got any plans after this? Or where you headed?
And Trish is gonna sort of look down to the ground a bit solemnly. I lost my team before, so I suppose I'm looking for a new group right now, at least until I can get back to, my command. Where are y'all headed again?
We're heading north, across Lake Union. Gonna try and get to a place called Oller Lake. We're looking for a couple of kids that are trying to lay low, run from the cause. And we'd be more than happy to have you help us come find them. If not, First Hill's a great place to recoup, too, until you can get back on your feet to get back to your squad.
I think Trish is going to sort of look around at everybody and just say, I think I'd like to come along with you guys. Like I said, we worked really well together, and at least for now, I'd love to help.
Well, yeah, like I said, we'd be happy to have you. We'd certainly be happy to have you gun. That's for sure.
And well, Sonny, if you're gonna be, driving a boat, I suppose we ought to be calling you captain. And she's gonna sort of smirk.
Don't give him that. Don't give him that.
Captain Sonny, I like the sound of that. I really like the sound. Yeah. You got something there.
what do you want to accomplish before you take off from St. Mark's?
Yeah, I think before leaving, he'd probably say his goodbyes to Sam. You know, he kind of like apologizes for the whole town being set on fire, but at the same time, like he understands it's not really our fault. Then he wants to see Spenny. He'd like to thank Spenny for everything he's done, and like he knows the town is in good hands with this guy. And lastly, he'd like to talk with Emmett before leaving.
Oh, okay. We'll summarize them. There's a lot of dudes, but I like the idea here. I'd say your time with Sam, the mayor of the settlement, and also head doctor of the settlement, it goes well. Like, there's no ill will in terms of the damage that's done and how it occurred. These things he took into consideration already. He knew that the settlement, in his mind, the settlement was doomed before you guys decided to help. So the damage was expected. The loss of life for the guards, however, that's something that he's still coming to grips with. You can see there's a lot of despair in his eyes when mentioning the loss of life, because it was pretty severe. We're talking 75% of the guard force, from what I remember. However, he will say that because of your bravery, the group's bravery, a lot of young people in the settlement, there's not a lot, but a lot of them are looking to volunteer and are more than willing to become the next kind of wave of guards for the settlement, in hopes that maybe St. Mark's can expand or take in trade goods and people once again like they did before the highwaymen decided to start picking on them and raiding them. Spenny is busy trying to repair the turrets whose targeting cards are broken. He thinks that there's some other way, maybe he can get around it. He doesn't quite understand that you need these components. So you'll probably catch him near one of the kind of leaving from the center of town to go to one of the outer turrets. He'll see you, wave you down. Hey, what's up?
Spenny. How are you doing this morning, Spenny?
Oh, busy, very busy. Got a lot of shit to do. The turrets. I don't know how I'm gonna fix those things, man. I really don't know. Those boards they seem kind of important now that I look at the insides of the working ones, and
yeah. It's a shame I broke a few of them, yes.
Well, if you broke them, I probably broke more than that. I've been trying to fix these things for a long time. Who knows what I broke in some of these?
You know what? When our thing is done, I was thinking of coming back here and maybe trying to help a little bit. So I'll be calling for you, and when I come back, I'll try to help you fix all that.
Yeah, that sounds good. I would like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you, Spenny.
Hey, come on. Keep your hormones in check there, big guy. We're going to miss you guys around here. I mean, look what you saved us. You kept us alive.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Well, I wasn't alone. And, you keep this city safe, all right? I entrust it to you. I don't want to take too much of your time. You're very busy. And
come on, man. Of course.
Now, this is getting awkward now. I should be. Excuse me. I'm going this way.
He's gonna quickly run in for a hug before you leave. Come on, big guy.
Yeah. Okay. He goes in with the one arm, firm hold on Spenny, as they part ways.
Emmett, you will find in the whatever's left of the covered market area. Some of the tarps have burnt away, obviously. Some are gone, but there's still some covering. Some shops are still open. There are still some food stalls open, and Emmett is sitting there eating what looks like a pieces of rad roach on a skewer, and he'll just be munching on them as you come in, walking into this open area. People are sitting down eating. There are some people walking around as well, doing some repair jobs. He'll see you coming, and he'll nod as he's taking a big bite of rad roach on a stick. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Emmett. We're all about to leave. I just wanted to check in on you. And he kind of gestures at his leg and then shows his own arm and just like, how's that going?
Oh, he puts the rad roach down. The leg. The leg's fine. Didn't overexert myself. But hey, it's all worth it because you're looking at the new head of security. And he gives like this big old grin.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. Mayor Sam said, hey, he liked my style. He liked the fact that I knew how to use pretty much almost every weapon that he can think of. And, those 4 guys that are left, the guards, they're pretty good. Pretty good shots. Top shape. They got that one captain of the watch now. His name, Ernest. Good guy. Pretty cool guy. A little jittery, but, you know.
I think you'll like it. Of course, I wish this all went a different direction the first time around, but I think you're gonna do a great job. And when we find Marcos, hopefully nothing comes back and to haunt you after. Once, I'm pretty sure when we finally find Marcos, everything that's gonna be cause related, it might end with us. So,
look, if the cause needed to hire me to find this guy, I don't think they got a lot of heavyweights who can take me down, let alone an entire settlement. You know what I mean? If they want to come, they're more than willing to come here, start some shit, and I'll be more than happy to talk with them. And he he has along this little bench that he's sitting at, there's like a sawn-off shotgun. I'm more than willing to have a peaceful dialogue, or sometimes even no dialogue and just go straight to bullets. It depends entirely on them. But
I seem to recall, yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you, the ones I met, the only thing scary about them was kind of the way they carry themselves. It's it's a mindset, it's an attitude, right? And the cause, most of the higher ups are probably all in the same boat. Ooh, on top shit, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. That's a problem for tomorrow's Emmett. Today's Emmett, and he picks up the rad roach on the skewer again. Today's Emmett's very hungry.
Enjoy your food, and I might see you someday.
Hey, good luck out there, man.
Thanks. Take it easy.
And he nods and continues eating.
I like Emmett now.
Redemption.
Okay, so we'll go with Sonny now if he has any last goodbye stuff to do in St. Mark's.
I think Sonny takes he wants to go and say goodbye to Dustin McBride.
The old guy? I can't remember his voice.
The old timer who helped come up with the trap idea. And I think they probably meet out in where the homes were, and everything's just kind of burnt and it's smoldering, and there's just sort of a wreck. Sonny finds him there, and he just comes up to him. We really made a mess of the place, huh?
I actually think you cleaned it up.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Now we can get rid of all these shitty homes and put up real sturdy ones, made from stone or I don't know. You know how to work stone?
I can't say I do.
You'd be the only one who probably even had the ability to work in stone, or even was close to being, 200 years old.
Yeah, I just think about all those people that are gonna be, without a place to stay in the meantime.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Sometimes I lose track of things.
oh yeah, and he just drifts off.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. I assume he's sitting on a slab of what was once one of the homes there. He's just sitting there looking off into space.
Yeah. Sonny clocks this, and Dustin, I don't know what you got going on here, but I know you. If you like traveling around, there's always a place for you at First Hill. I got a cot. And a place for you to bed down if you're just making the rounds, and a discount. I can always offer you a discount.
First Hill, that's a ways south. I'm not looking to go anywhere anytime soon. I kind of like it here. It's peaceful. It's very quiet. Have you noticed how quiet it is? And then he continues looking out into, just zoning out, and then he'll turn around slowly back to you. Hey, I'm Dustin, by the way.
Oh, Sonny's heart just breaks. Real good to meet you, Dustin. I'm Sonny Takasi. And he puts his hand out.
He'll shake it. Yeah, I don't see very many ghouls out here.
Yeah, hey, you got people here, you gonna be okay.
He looks around. Yeah. I think I don't. He'll stop, and then you see, kind of has like his hand does this like little tremble for a second, and as he like scratches his face, I don't. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I just need to take a breather. Yeah, I just need to sit here for a second. And he just zones out again, just looking out at like people repairing stuff. His face is kind of filled with not fear or confusion at the moment. It's more of like wonder or patience. He's just watching. It's almost like someone watching the ships pass, right? Someone watching the planes take off from a runway, just enjoying people walking around. Like, it seems like this gives them some sense of peace, watching the guys and everybody do the repairs and do what they can.
Shit. I'm gonna pull out the page from Sonny's written story. I'm gonna rip it out of the journal and I'm gonna fold it up and give it to him. Hey, Dustin. It's just something for you, in case things get foggy.
Oh, wow. Thanks. And he takes it and opens it. Oh, I really love stories. I had a whole bunch once before. Kind of read the piece of paper and like, oh, wow. Oh, this guy sounds cool. Just continues reading it.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of a few things we did here. The other day, I know it can be overwhelming, so if you ever need help remembering it, just so you know, this, we couldn't have done this without your help.
He looks up at Sonny. I helped?
Oh, yeah. The pits, you see those pits? That was your idea.
He looks at the big one. That's not too far because you guys are in the destroyed homes. He sees the wall. Oh. I must be smart.
I clap him on the back and I say, Dustin, what do you remember? And I'm going to sit down next to him and I'm going to spend the rest of the time writing whatever Dustin remembers in the journal. Just the two of us sitting in this ruin and just trying to recount whatever it is that he does have of the memory of this place.
Fantastic. And it fades out into Trish walking down the main thoroughfare.
Yeah. Be careful,
God
Trish.
damn it.
So mean.
Whoever you pick, they might get broken if they show up on the show. It's Schrodinger's NPC.
Dustin was broken from the beginning.
Ay, my heart.
So Trish, I have you walking down the main thoroughfare, but if there's anywhere else you want to be and anyone you want to talk to specifically, you can. But I know that it's hard because you were only here for like a day-ish.
And I don't think Trish makes connections with people purposefully. I think she tries to stay very professional when it comes to stuff like this. She doesn't want to get too attached when she knows that she's not going to be in an area very long.
Right. I understand completely.
But I think she would definitely want to, shake the hand of Sam to say, good luck with everything. If we're ever coming back through, I'd love to check in. And then I think silently, Trish wants to leave some bottle caps for that mother that she's staying with.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Easy.
Yeah. And I think, but that's going to be like a completely private, silent thing. She doesn't want her to know where it came from. Just sort of like leave it by the bedside to help this mom out.
Okay, Trish speaks with Sam, and I think the only parting words Sam leaves that are different than the standard polite, thank you so much is more of like a, if you do come back, we would really appreciate it if you didn't tell the NCR that we're here. This settlement specifically. He is extremely worried. You can see there's a slight fear when he mentions, anytime he mentions the NCR, it's very similar to when he mentions the Brotherhood. He doesn't trust the large organizations, but he thanks you for what you did.
Trish will keep that secret. Yeah, I think she would definitely sort of reassure Sam, like, you don't have anything to worry about.
Then he will gladly shake your hand and allow you to do the second part, which is where I would say when you put the money, you go back to your original, where your quarters were, where you were staying inside the cathedral. There are people walking through here way more than normal. And luckily for you, the room is empty as you are sharing it with you did share it with the mother and her children. Trish carefully takes 7 bottle caps from her tiny bottle cap. I would say there's like a pouch or like a pocket on your utility belt on your NCR gear, and you pop it open, and it's normally got like, it can be filled with way more bottle caps, but it's only got like that bottom line full of like 14, 15 caps. Trish kind of shrugs and takes half of what she can and puts it behind behind a little wooden figurine. Like, they'll see it if they move the figurine, kind of deal. And Trish carefully closes the door behind her, pulls her NCR coat to a close, and walks out of the cathedral as our camera views from the back her outline being hit by the light coming in from the outside. So all we see is her silhouette walking through the main doorway of the cathedral.
In that little room of that one church house, out on a hill.
We cut to Gerry. Where is Gerry, and what does she want to do?
There's 2 things. Wants to gather the boys and have a quick moment with Trish.
The boys are at the barracks. Ernie is there with the remainder of the boys, and they see boys and girls, because I think one of them was a girl.
Roxy.
And they see you, and they all kind of stand up, like coming to attention. But then Ernie's like, no, we don't have to do that. I told you already. That's not how this works. And they like look confused. What?
Yeah, I'm knowing now. Don't worry. But I just wanted to get with you guys real quick.
They all look at you when you say I'm knowing now, and Ernie's like, oh, with respect, that's not entirely true. I mean, we wouldn't have survived without you. You taught us how to shoot. You taught us how to basically just be better at our jobs, at life. If anything, you're probably one of the most important people we know.
And she puts her hand on her head and like does this like awkward scratch. That's too much. Well, thank you, but I'm not here to talk about me. I won't be here when we bury the rest of the boys. I have to head out, and Ernie too. I just wanted to have a quick moment with you all, just to honor those who we lost.
They all nod in agreement and look at each other. Yeah.
Gerry scratches her head again. I'm not very good at this, but I just wanted to say that they shot straight and they helped this community stay alive. And while they lost their lives, they helped keep everyone else here alive. So make sure to honor them and make sure that they're never forgotten. And Roxy, stay strong. I know you lost your partner.
And she nods. And Ernie looks to the group and says, we are planning on having like a ceremony and stuff when I get back after, getting you guys where you need to go. But thank you. We really appreciate it. They all kind of nod in agreement. You can hear them kind of here. Yeah. And then Ernest kind of continues. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be much of a remembrance if we didn't have anything to drink, right? They kind of look at each other. Yeah, that makes sense. And he goes to a corner of this room that's still intact, still has some of the ceiling above it. There's like an old file cabinet, and he pushes the file cabinet aside. There's a hole in this wall, and he puts his hand in there while he's still like looking away, because he can't really look in when he's grabbing it. And he you hear a bottle cling cling. This is hitting the sides of this hole in the wall, and he pulls out just a bottle of whiskey. And he goes, "They would have wanted this." And he opens it up and passes it around as people take swigs from the bottle and discuss, the remembrance of the people that were lost, their fellow guardsmen. And when it gets to Roxy, she takes this big swig and then looks to Gerry and then hands it to Gerry.
Gerry takes it, looks at it, takes a swig, but then it looks at it again. And my father used to do this. And she pours out a little on the ground. That's for the ones we lost.
And they kind of nod, and then Ernie kind of smiles like, "Oh, I get it. Like it's not lost in him. He's like, it's like because they're in the ground. Like he doesn't say it out loud, but he understands. Yeah.
You're still the coach. You're still teaching them. So.
Still teaching him. Yep. I'd say this little in memoriam lasts for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And Ernest is like, "I can't get too drunk because I still have to guide you guys to where we gotta go." So he takes the bottle, what's left of it, and puts it back in the hole in the wall and pushes the file cabinet. As the rest of the guards finish this little break they have and go on trying to bring some order and repair the settlement. I would say that this is around the moment where Gerry's walking down the main thoroughfare, looking like kind of not wanderlust, but just kind of like looking like, what can we do before we leave? And that's when she runs into Trish coming out of the cathedral.
Gerry approaches Trish and then immediately looks sheepish in front of her. Trish, and then she quickly hugs Trish around the waist and then immediately lets go. And her face is flushed. Thanks for running through a fire for me. And she's looking down.
I think Trish does that thing when someone hugs you and your arms just sort of go out for a moment and you're like, I don't know what to do in this situation. And when Gerry quickly pulls away, and Trish can see that she is a little bashful about it, Trish is just going to sort of smile down at her and give her a pat on the shoulder. I'd do it again, in a heartbeat. And she's going to sort of give her a little nudge. Maybe a little too hard.
Well, thanks. It's still blushing a little bit and then nudge her back. Gerry's not good with emotions.
Hello, survivors, vault dwellers, and denizens of the wastes. Short mid-roll, don't have a whole lot to announce. Just want to remind you that at the end of this campaign, we will be doing a sort of post-mortem about the story and about the system. So if you have any questions about the plot or about the system or what we thought of it or anything that you just want to know that we didn't answer or touch on either for the cast or for Alex, submit your questions. You can hit us up on Twitter at Respect the Crit. You can go to our Facebook page and post them there. Facebook.com/respectthecrit. We have a Discord server that you can add them in there. The information on where to find that is in our Twitter bio and on our Instagram as well, I believe, at respectthecrit. So yeah, or you can shoot us an email, respectthecrit@gmail.com if you prefer that. We've gotten a few already, so thank you for that. But yeah, if you've got any more, send it to us. We'll be happy to answer them. As always, thanks to our friends at Modiphius, we still have a great deal going on where you can get 10% off all 2D20 Fallout RPG stuff. You can either go to modiphius.net/respectthecrit, or if you're in the US and prefer US shipping, go to modiphius.us. And remember to put RTC10, that's RTC10 at checkout to get 10% off all your Fallout RPG stuff. As always, thank you so much to our friends at Modiphius, and thank you for listening, for downloading, and for leaving us your feedback. We love to hear from you. So enjoy the rest of the episode.
The sun hits its center point in the sky marking high noon. Ernest has shaken off as much of the whiskey as he can and gone back to the center of town. I'd say he catches Trish and Gerry there. Lance, finishing up his business, comes to the center of town as well. And he sees Sonny sitting there with Dustin. And Dustin sees the group organizing and he goes, "Hey, Sonny, aren't those strangers your friends?"
Oh, yeah, Dustin, I do gotta go. But, I've really enjoyed listening to your stories. Thanks. You take care, okay?
Yeah, you take care too. See you tomorrow. And he just looks off.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. And I close the book. I put my hand on his shoulder. I cry inside. I give him one of those, like, pop, pop, like pats on his shoulder. And
he kind of, like, swats your hand away, like, laughing, and continues just watching people repair the wall. That's something else. Look at that. Ernest sees you coming and then kind of nods. Okay, everybody ready?
Ernest, is Dustin, does he have people here? Does he have people looking out for him? Is Sam looking out for him?
Is he having an episode?
Yeah, I mean, it's to be understood. We all just kind of experienced a big traumatic event, but I don't know if it's, something tied to his age or heredity or something.
I mean, he's been like that for the last few years, but normally we call it like he blanks out. When he blanks out, they're pretty infrequent. Like it happened the first time the highwaymen came. It happened when a couple of the mole rats got into the market. So this would be the third one if he's having one now. And then he thinks about it for a second. I'll check up on him when I get back.
Yeah, could you? I know you got a lot on your plate, but if maybe you or one of the boys could just check it. Do things come back?
Yeah. Sometimes he'll remember stuff like what he ate for Halloween or something. He really likes Halloween. It's like one of his favorite holidays, and I think it's one of the only pre-war ones that we celebrate here in the settlement. Besides, there's one called Christmas, I think is what it's called. It's really important.
Yeah,
it's
that's
something
pretty close.
What? Oh well, yeah, you would know. Yeah, we give each other presents and stuff, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes his memory it'll come back every now and then.
Okay, just make sure someone's looking out for him. All right.
Yeah, of course I can do that. I'll take care of it when I get back. So.
And I might recommend, if he does remember stuff, you might want to write it down. That guy's got like a whole tome of cool stories.
Oh, and then Ernest pulls out his notebook. I'll remember that, and he continues to write down stuff.
Yeah, there you go, Ernest.
You can tell because he's talking as he's writing. To do. Check up on Dustin. Subtask. Write his stories.
Do you always say it out loud when you're writing it down?
Yeah. Why, don't you?
Don't worry about it.
He closes his little notebook. Okay.
Where's Cassandra?
We said bye to Cassie.
Oh, yeah. Who wants to say bye to
there.
Cassie?
Bye, Cassie. Bye.
We high five Cassie. We flip off Ray.
Yeah.
I would say the party's like, okay, let's start heading north. Ernest is going to stop you. Whoa. We're not going out that way. And he points to the covered market near Emmett's safe house. He says, we got to go there.
Lead the way.
He goes into the alleyway in between Emmett's safe house and like another big, large building next to it. And you can all fit in easily, just in single file. And you get to this, which is essentially the hill, that rocky hill that they used as the natural barrier. And he's going to like kind of make sure everyone's behind him as he looks back down the hallway. Okay, stay close. It's very dark. And he's going to shimmy behind Emmett's safe house. You'll hear like Emmett's in there, like getting his things ready. And he's like, man, they really took everything out of my weapons are gone. Like you can hear him from one of the windows. And then he'll continue walking. And you'll get to this part of rock, a section of rock that appears to be covered in moss on this rocky hill. And all Ernest does is just move it with his hand, and it's like almost like one of those curtains. It's just a curtain of moss, and it leads into a cave. And he motions after you.
This was here the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
You're full of surprises, Ernie.
But it's not something that we're supposed to share with the other people.
As Gerry passes, she'll elbow Ernie and be like, keeping secrets from the boss.
Hey, this was what Sam told me to keep this secret. You think I want to betray Sam?
Don't worry, I'm just messing with you.
As you guys are in there, it gets dark. It gets really dark to the point where you can't see in front of you, and you're gonna hear Ernest from the back.
Hey, whoever's in front, reach on the left side. There should be like a little lantern.
I pat my way around and try to find a lantern.
You find the lantern, and you easily identify. You're like, okay, I know what this is. Like I remember in my studies, and there's a little button on the bottom, or like a knob, and you turn it, and you hear like gas or something click, like click, 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 like almost like a stove turning on, and the lantern instantly lights up, and now you see that this is a cave. It goes for a long ways. The light doesn't reach all the way to the end of the cave, and you'll hear Ernest in the back.
Just keep going forward, and then eventually we're gonna come to like the like a dip. Just we gotta be careful. It's a very steep decline.
How often you use this, Ernie?
Oh, like never. I've only been through here like maybe once before.
There ever anything in here other than us?
No. I don't think. What? And you can hear him like from the back of the cave. No, we're fine. No.
I put a hand on Lance's back and just say, be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's steep, my biggest concern, though, is I don't want to slip.
Lance leads the way with the lantern, continually going down this rocky cave. The floor of it, underneath your boots, your shoes, what have you, it's gravel and sand kind of like mixed together. It's real crunchy as you go through. And sure enough, it begins to decline, but not as quick as you imagined it to. It's more of a steady down, 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 level out, down, down, down. You realize now that this rocky hill is a lot higher than what you believed the elevation of the settlement to be. Eventually, the party arrives to one large, heavy door, and it has this kind of circular hatch to open it, kind of like the wheel turning handle. And there's enough room now where all of you can kind of get in together. So Ernest will walk up and be, 1 second. Gets up and he tries to jam it open, and eventually it gives way, squealing as he turns the circular handle and pushes the door open inwards. Now the party sees a tunnel made out of metallic pieces. There's pipes running on the ceiling, and there are lights all along the ceiling, these fluorescent lighting, but very dim, enough to where you don't need the lantern anymore, Lance. And the tunnel goes straight. You can see power lines running in pipes. There's some steam can be seen and heard running through these pipes as well.
Can I is there anything I can roll to recognize what utility this might have been?
I don't even think you need to roll. You can look right away, and there's some sort of system in this is running to something, and giving it power and giving it water and gas.
Okay, keep going.
How much further?
Not that long.
Are we looking for anything in particular, Ernie?
A ladder. You continue going down, and there's steps going down. Eventually, you come to a ladder, just dead center in this tunnel, at the end of the tunnel. But it looks like it hasn't been used in a long time. And Ernest goes up to it. Okay, I should probably be the one to go in here. And he'll climb up another hatch, this time with one hand unhinging the circular opening. And it makes the loudest creak as he's releasing the tension, and eventually squeals easily as it's opened up. He pushes it open, climbs up into essentially darkness, and then puts his hand down. All right, next.
Gerry will go up.
Gerry climbs up. Ernest picks her up. And Gerry, as you come into this, whatever this place is, you're now in some kind of storage room. You can barely see. There's only a little bit of light coming in here from these small rectangular windows on the edges of this room. And it's sunlight, obviously, coming in. But you can still barely see what's in here. You can make out large, square-ish shapes covered by cloths. You see maybe some things on pedestals, almost as large as like trophies or statues of some kind. They're covered with cloth, some are not, but you can't really make out what's in here. But they just litter this entire storage room. Ernest looks down. Okay, next.
Put my hand up.
Sonny comes into the room and sees the same thing. But Sonny, you can clearly make out what these are. These are covered paintings, covered statues, covered works of art.
Ernie, is this some kind of museum or something?
It's a house.
Whose house?
I mean, nobody's to belong to anybody. He looks down the tunnel. Okay, next.
Sure, Trish will raise her hand up to go up.
Okay. And as she climbs up the ladder, puts her hands up, Ernest helps her. Oh man, your armor's really kind of heavy. And pulls her in, and you see the same thing as Trish looks around and can see, like, I think these are paintings. I'm not quite sure.
I'm pulling sheets off.
Okay.
I'm just pulling sheets off.
Oh my god, it's the Mona Lisa. What's this? Statue of David.
Oh, you'd be surprised. Lance being the last one up the ladder, Ernest like uses both hands to try and pick him up. Like, I'm gonna need your help, big guy.
Well, I'm doing as best as I can with this one arm.
I know.
I'll help.
Sorry about that.
Help.
Okay, Trish comes and helps out. Now that you're all in here, and I'm not sure, you probably still had the lantern, but just wasn't turned on, Lance. So he will turn on the lantern, or Ernest will turn on the lantern and kind of walk around. Yeah. So this place, before the war, we found stuff. Sam and I, because he brought me here. We found plaques outside the place. It's called the Egan House. It's some kind of like artistic building or something. Somebody special built it in the pre-war times. And then this admiral actually lived here. And I guess before the bombs dropped, he stole a bunch of art and had it brought here. Special fact, the walls got a lot of stuff in them that protects from the outside. So, you know, this room was the only one that got finished with the special stuff. So all these pieces of art, I guess, from the pre-war era are still intact. But, you know, the stuff upstairs got radiated like everything else.
I grab Ernest and I take him aside.
Does anyone else know about this place?
Just Sam and me.
Good. Okay.
Why?
We gotta.
What?
Don't worry about it now. We gotta have a talk when we come back.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Just keep it all safe. You know, no one else uses this place, right?
Yeah, as far as and as you say that, you hear boots above you on the floorboards above you, like someone walking above. Ernest is like, what the fuck is that? It sounds like someone's like walking around, and then runs away from where you guys are at, and our camera is on all the party as they look at the, I guess not floorboards, but like the concrete or like the roof above them, the ceiling, and they hear someone walking above. Our camera follows their vision as the feet move from the end of the room above them, past them, and their vision now ends at the end of this room where there is a flight of stairs that lead up, and in standard basement architecture, and the footprints end at the edge where the door to the upstairs would be, and you hear the door slowly creak.
I draw my gun.
Yeah, quick draw.
Yeah. Turn off
Ernest
the lantern.
steps behind a large crate. You hear a gun load, like clack clack, and then you hear a woman's voice. Whoever's down there, I'm gonna blow your brains out. Silence afterwards as she waits for a response.
Yeah, Len speaks up and kind of gestures to her body, stay hidden. Wait. Don't fire. Please.
You see the gun poke down like the stair, like the exposed stairwell or the exposed side of stairs.
I hide behind a crate as well. I kind of see where Lance is going.
I assume when Lance put his hands down like that, everybody hid behind something,
Yeah.
except for him. So the gun comes down, and then a woman's head, blonde hair, kind of, pretty fair skin, and she looks down and she sees just Lance, and she looks at his clothes. A fucking vault dweller?
Sorry, I'm just as lost as you are. There was a massive attack in a town nearby, and I managed to escape. Where am I?
She slowly positions herself to have the gun pointed at you as she walks down the steps. What town? How'd you get in here?
He kind of gestures over like his shoulder, the hatch. There's a long series of tunnels. I just managed to find it and found my way here. I just tried to escape that death trap down there.
She has the gun still out. You can see it's obviously a 10mm, very similar to the one you have. She kind of scans you up and down. Now you see her full regalia. She's got like road leathers on, like a duster, these kind of heavy boots. It looks like mismatched armor from all different, like, not like Raider mismatched, but like different parts. Like she's got a bunch of gear she's probably found and put it together herself. But underneath the leather armor that she's wearing, you can see the words. Looks like a baseball jersey of some kind. And I would say in the vault, in your vault specifically, you were given a lot of history to the region. There was an old baseball team pre-war. It had to do with the region specifically, about their passion for the seas, for boats. This is the Seattle Mariners jersey underneath all of this gear. It's obviously been, tore up. There's some years have not been kind to it, but she still wears it, almost like a badge of honor. The logo for the Mariners, the M with the little freaking thing around it. I'm not a big fan of the Mariners, by the way. I'm not doing this for them. It's been like drawn or stitched onto her duster, as if this logo has been reclaimed. And she has the gun out and she looks at Lance. Okay, Vault Dweller, say I believe you. What do you want? You looking to safe passage or what?
Is there any way to get behind her, or at least get around to her?
We're gonna go for some rolls, even though it's been like an hour and a half. We're finally gonna get some rolls.
Do I need to roll for lying?
Well, I mean, you're not lying yet, right?
I make hand gestures to Gerry, like, I'm gonna go this way, you go that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna need agility sneak, DC of 2, please.
I'm going to use my perk, Ghost, whenever I attempt a sneak test. The first additional D20 I purchase is free. So I'm going to purchase that one.
Can I help then? Like if I see they're starting to move, to kind of like
you don't know what they're doing. You're just standing because this woman has the gun in front of you, so your attention is on her for sure. Gerry or Trish, anything?
I think Trish is going to stand by, being that she hasn't been given any explicit orders as of yet, but she still has her gun at hand. Maybe even, like, if possible, sneakily focused on this woman without being noticed. Like,
Gotcha.
She's aiming at her, but
Okay.
not from, like, behind a crate.
Got you. Yeah, I see it. And then you're like trying to get a good beat, and Ernest is behind you, like just near real close to Trish, like, you gotta be quiet, stop making noise, don't. He's the one clearly making noise. He's like, shh, no, don't.
I'm gonna have to buy a D20.
You don't have any you don't have any action points yet, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you an action point. You said DC 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take your fucking action point.
I got it.
Take your fucking action point.
I have it right here.
All right.
There's still a lot of game left. Ooh, baby. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, yes, and it's attack
you got
skill.
it.
Yeah.
I got none.
None.
I failed on all of them.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Gerry manages to move around, and as Sunny tries to move in the opposite direction, his heel clips, like, I would say, a painting, and the painting just slides down. As the painting, like a painting that's been knocked off its balance and slides, this woman quickly, her attention goes to the where the painting fell, the noise, and she looks back.
I step out and say, "Drop your gun."
Okay.
She looks at Sunny with the gun still pointing at Lance, and she goes,
Okay, so you don't care for this guy's life, essentially is what you're telling me, right?
His life is in the same position your life is in, so drop your gun if you want to keep a hold of it.
You kill me, and there'll be 5 other people coming after you, minimum.
Are they here now?
They'll be here shortly.
Well, I'll worry about them shortly. Drop your gun.
Can nobody shoot? I'm kind of done with the shooting. Can we just talk? You like baseball? You a Mariners fan? We can talk baseball.
So first we're gonna deal with this threat.
Damn it.
Let's call it a strength speech because you're trying to intimidate her, huh?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
DC, let's call it DC1 because you gave her some pretty cold hard facts. Like, yeah, it's gonna take a while for the people to find you.
My strength is not good, but I just got my speech up, so that's 10. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's see if I can roll it with two dice. 6 and 9, baby. Nice. Oh, and I generate an action point because that's a tag, and I just put it up to 6.
Nice.
Yeah, so she hears this, and then slowly, I would say Lance sees this first. You can see that she starts to sweat a little, like her breathing gets a little more severe. Her gun, you can see her trigger finger, it's closing in on the trigger, and then you open up with that line.
Look, can we just not shoot? I'm kind of done with all this. We're actually really tired. I'm not lying about this. There was an attack. Did you like baseball? Did you like the Mariners? We can talk baseball. Let's just do normal things for once. This goddamn wasteland.
Her gun's still pointed at Lance. Baseball. You know about that? Pre-war sport?
There's a lot of stuff they teach us about the old world and back in the vault. Much more than out here in the real world.
She looks at Sonny. I assume Sonny has his gun out.
I'm still pointing it at her.
Okay, you got it. You pointed at her. Okay, good. Just making sure. So she looks. Well, fuck it. And then she puts the gun away. Still looking at Sonny as she does this. Back to Lance. Okay, look. This isn't my place. All right, I'm waiting for some people. I'm taking shelter. Didn't know other people were here.
We literally just got here. And yeah, we are just looking for safe passage. We're just getting through.
And there's only 2 of you? Or are there any more clowns behind that box?
There's a whole lot of clowns in that tiny car.
And then surprisingly close behind her, Gerry steps out.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, you hear her go like, oh shit. Anyone else? And then as she says that, I assume Ernest stands up. Hi! Waves.
God damn it, Ernest.
Trish is going to hesitate for a moment, but is going to stand up with her hands raised. Still weapon in hand, though.
Wow. Okay. She looks at Lance and at Sonny. I would have been killed.
No, we're not that kind of people. I'm Lance. What's your name, by the way?
Kendall. My name's Kendall. Nice to meet you, Lance.
It's nice to meet you.
She looks at Sonny.
Sonny. I have my gun still trained on her, but it's much more casual now.
Let's turn to the side. And then she looks behind her. And spooky ghost girl?
Gerry's going to deftly and like in a blink of an eye put her gun away. Gerry.
Clown 1 and 2? Oh, Ernest. Or Ernie. I mean, my friends call me Ernie. I guess you're not really my friend, though. Ernest would be fine.
Trish.
Okay. So, I don't have a lot of caps. But it sounds like you're not here to rob me. Just passing through, right?
Well, Lance looks at Ernest. Like, that was it, right?
I mean, yeah, we don't really have to spend much time here. We just need to get across the highway. And then Kendall's like, you're trying to get across the highway outside.
That gonna be a problem?
Well, in the whole highway, it's crawling with weird stuff. It's like all the baddies from down south started moving up. Something's scaring them off. Ernest looks at the group. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Normally, if I have to get across, it's just one quick walk across the highway. Or underneath, if I'm lazy.
So if it's so dangerous, what are you doing here? Why are you meeting people here?
Well, I was getting supplies, looking through some of the buildings. and I ran into something that I don't normally see up here. And she looks at Sunny. It's a, ghoul, but didn't really have much time to talk as it ran at me. So I put it down.
Ghoul like me or ghoul like...
Yeah, no, not like you.
Okay.
Like I said, didn't really have time to talk to it because it wasn't talking. It was screeching and running at me. Put down about 4, but then another 4 showed up. So I crossed the highway as fast as I could, picked them off from a distance, and have been in here for about, a few hours. Set off a flare, and hopefully my buddies come get me soon.
Who are your buddies?
Oh, sorry. I'm part of a group called the Mariners.
I can see. You got jerseys made. Nice.
No, we actually found him on a truck near our base. We got a nice little spot, pre-war bar. There's enough rooms for all of us there. We used to be parts of different settlements that don't exist anymore, if you know what I mean. And you see her face kind of fill with this small taste of lament.
Oh shit! I shrug and I go, Garfield.
No, mine. I'm from, doesn't matter. It used to exist before that place became Brotherhood territory. There is one guy in our team from Garfield that, most of the stories are the same. Small settlements didn't want Brotherhood rule, and she makes the finger across the throat motion. But, we banded together, and now we're the Mariners, and we sneak across Lake Union, go to the Brotherhood stockpiles of food, take what we can, and leave. Haven't been caught yet. And we've taken down more of them than they have of us, so...
A brotherhood?
Well, not knights, not the guys in armor. We tend to go for the unarmored, either higher-ups or the new recruits that they try to get to be guard duty, because that's who they put on guard duty, is new recruits. Very easy to pick off.
I had you picked all wrong. Any enemy of the Brotherhood is a friend of mine.
That's good to hear, seeing as there's 5 of you in here.
Hey, any chance you're looking for a fortified place to live instead of, being on your lonesome, the 5 of you on the bar?
Oh, there's more than
here?
5 of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's got to be at least 9 for a whole baseball team.
Well, we're a couple of baseball teams then, because we're survivors from, the destroyed independent settlements. So there's at least like 45, 55 of us.
I was just asking because, St. Mark's is fine, and apparently they're looking to shelter more or expand, so...
St. Mark's, that's the church place?
Yeah, that's where the attack happened. Fortunately, we won.
Well, we've traded with them before, but that was before they started to get, picked off by those motorcycle guys.
Yeah, that should be over for now.
What do you mean?
There's no more raiders.
Her posture changes. What do you mean no more raiders? Like they went somewhere else? What? And she points to the lands. You got rid of them.
We probably didn't get rid of all of them, but we got rid of them, enough of them. They won't be a problem for St. Mark's anymore.
Believe me, I wish it was the crows. I would have personally enjoyed getting rid of those guys.
Holy shit. The rest of the guys will be happy to hear that St. Mark's is open again. They were one of our best trade partners. Well, hey, I guess we're all on the same page, then.
Yeah, Les looks around, looks at Ernest, like, yeah.
Ernest is kind of like, I guess. Okay, sorry, ma'am, Kendall, ma'am. We gotta go. We got something we gotta do. Oh, yeah, sure. There's not enough for everyone, but I'm cooking up, I found some mongrel meat, some wild dogs. I've been cooking some up. If you guys want some meat, I got some upstairs. I also found some, and she pulls out of her pouch, like going for a gun. She pulls out 2 bottles of Nuka-Cola clanging together. One's mine for sure, but you guys can share the other one.
That's really generous.
Ernest slowly walks up. If they don't want it, I'll take the Nuka-Cola. Oh yeah, here you go.
And now Ernest, nobody said no. I don't think.
I can't hear you. I don't know what you... He starts drinking it. You can tell it's been a while since Ernest had Nuka-Cola.
Can you believe it? We save a settlement, and he doesn't even give us some Nuka-Cola.
Let him have it.
Gerry grabs it from his hand and takes a swig.
I don't grab the bottle. I grab the bottle cap out of his hand.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, I'd say Gerry takes the Coke, and then Sonny takes the cap, and he's like, oh. Kendall takes you all upstairs. I would describe the furniture in here as Art Deco, 1950s, 1960s. Got that like really strange, wannabe futuristic furniture. So it's got that kind of the chrome lamps that are got the long neck that don't really stretch that high. They're like pointed down. It's like a reading lamp. There's these weird chairs. The windows are sealed, meaning that whoever built this house developed the windows to be blast resistant of some kind because they're not blown out. The building itself is pretty much intact. You can see Kendall's got this little camp set up like in this back room that's separated from the main living room by a wall that has fake wooden slats in that really kind of 1960s design. A little cooking pot over a fire that she's made from random debris that she's got.
I was just going to ask, is there like a window or something I can take a look out to see if there's like a ghoul situation, like a herd or whatever?
Yeah, so the windows in here appear to have been covered up by some sort of home security system, which you now recognize as being like a defunct Vault-Tec automated home of the future system. But one of them is open just enough so you can peek through and see into the front area of the home. You look out, and it's because it is the Evergreen, and the trees managed to thrive out here. There is some foliage, there's some green, there's some red and mutated plants. You can tell that this house is covered by some kind of mutated forest, if you will. Radiated forest. Looking for ghouls specifically, I'm going to need you to give me perception survival.
Okay.
DC 1.
Oh, there we go. Oh, sweet. One of those is a tag skill crit.
Is it tagged?
Yeah, because survival is 3 for me.
You look out and you can clearly see 4 downed ghouls in the driveway. They're down in a manner in which shows that they were running at Kendall, and their clothes are extremely tattered. Some have like pre-war clothing. One has like a soldier's kind of garb, like army fatigues, and a combat helmet that's now off of its head as it's leaning on the ground. So yeah, everything seems correct. Like she was chased. Ernest keeps looking kind of like at the front door, like, hey, we gotta go. Like, we'll go to Trish. Excuse me, Miss Trish. We gotta get going. Like, I don't want to be headed back when it's dark, so we gotta get a move on here.
She's going to look over to the rest of the group. We should probably be headed out. Thank you so much, Kendall, for your kindness. We weren't expecting it, but it was a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, same.
And she's gonna stand up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry. Let me get the door for you guys. You're a good group, and I'm glad we didn't shoot each other, and I'm glad that you didn't kill me.
Yeah, one of these days we'll definitely talk about baseball. But hey, Kendall, that trap down there in the basement, that's a secret, all right? Now you're the guardian of that secret. There's only 3 people who know about it.
Well,
keep that safe.
The rest of you guys know, so it's more than 3, right? It's this
guy.
Also, all those paintings, those are all claimed, by the way.
What paintings?
Don't worry about it.
You get outside of the Egan house, and it's not rough terrain, but it's kind of, it's a little difficult. It's hilly. There's a lot of foliage around you. You can hear the sound of small critters running around in the grass and the bushes and things like that. If they're scary critters, you're unsure, but they're keeping away from you guys because there's a lot of you. You walk, all 5 of you, including Ernest, walk past the 4 downed ghouls that are there in the driveway. It's not something I think Gerry is used to seeing, or Lance for that matter, but Trish and Sonny, you've seen your fair share of feral ghouls in your past. Sonny has seen people, his fellow ghouls, become feral ghouls. Trish she's no stranger to being chased by ghouls and having to put some down from a safe distance, however. She's never had to deal with the up close and personal instance in which ghouls seem to swarm, or the horror stories of feral ghouls swarming unsuspecting wastelanders. Ernest seems to be taken aback by this and kind of just like, oh, okay. It's okay. You hear him talking to himself. It's okay, Ernie. You got this. Not a big deal. You can drop him off and you go back home. No problem. Very easy. Easy peasy.
Hey, Ernie.
Yeah.
Can I offer some advice?
Mm-hmm.
Keep the talking to yourself down, because if there's any others, they can hear it. They go for sound.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Don't talk to yourself. Stop. The party continues out of the foliage and now onto this road. And then in front of you, there appear to be makeshift stairs made from like sheet metal wood. This section was obviously added after the war. So this is probably something that some wastelanders nearby provided so people could have easy access to the highway, or some other group took it upon themselves to build it when they were trying to claim the area, perhaps. You can all see as well 3 sections of 3-laned highways that are between you and what looks like the shore, the wreckage of the buildings on the coast of Lake Union. And Ernest is going to turn to the group and say, well, if Kendall was right, and there are more of these, they're probably sleeping or hiding on the highway. We can go past them above. It's faster because it connects to this other building, which I normally go through to get down into the shore. Or we can go under, which takes a little bit longer because we got to climb down. And if the things are hiding or waiting, they probably won't hear us because we're going to be underneath them. It's a little harder, but it might be safer. It's up to you guys.
I want Ernie to be safe when he does a trek back.
Yeah. Hey, Ernie, can you give us like a really accurate description of where this boat is?
Yeah, so there's like a house, one of the houses on the docks. It's a blue house. It's got a bunch of like trees and garbage in front of it, but that's all fake. It's all actually connected. It's one giant piece of trash, and you just have to get someone strong to lift it up. And you go into this house, go through the backyard, what's left of the backyard door, and there should be a little boathouse connected to the house, and the boat should be in there.
And it's right across this highway.
Yeah, just go straight, and then you have to cross from the highway. If you go up top, you climb down through this, there's like a school. It was like a Vault Tech education center where they were trying to teach kids stuff.
I think, and then Jerry's going to turn to the rest of the group as well. I think you should stay on this side of the highway so you don't have to cross by yourself on the way back.
But then how are you going to get to the boat?
Well,
you just told us how.
Oh. Yeah, you're both right. Are you sure? I mean, I'm supposed to take you all the way there.
You've played your part, Ernie. You've played your part. And we're really grateful you did.
Okay. To be honest, I'm kind of relieved. I don't like making this trip. That's why I've only done it like once or twice before. And well, I guess this is bye then.
Thanks, Ernie, for everything.
He'll nod. Of course. You guys saved St. Mark's. You know, because of you, the place gets to live on and thrive. And we got the Mariners are going to come back to town.
I hope so.
Go tell Sam. You need to go back and tell
give
Sam.
that news.
Yeah, we'll do. And he's about to head out, then he stops and looks at Gerry. See ya, coach. Gives a salute.
No, see you, coach. And she salutes back.
And he blushes a little. And he'll run back.
I think St. Mark's is gonna be okay.
Yeah. I think they're...
In good hands.
Do we trust Kendall?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we trust Kendall.
Yeah.
I mean, trust is a pretty generous word, but I don't think she'll kill him.
No.
So you have a choice. There is a route going above the freeway, the interstate, I-5, because there have been like wooden walkways built, pretty stable, by other travelers who've made the journey. So their hard work can be now your benefit. Or if you don't want to go across the freeway, you can slide down the hill, go underneath the 3 freeways, which takes a little longer because you have to climb down successfully. And then underneath, you're not sure what's down there. And neither was Ernest because he's never gone the down route before. The choice is yours.
I mean, I feel like we take the Ernie route.
The highway.
Up as well.
Take the high road.
Filled with ghouls.
Could be. If Kendall was right.
I don't doubt her.
Okay.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting to go that way.
Are there cars? Are there cars we could like stand on?
Yeah, there's plenty of vehicles still on here. Some are blown up, some are still intact. The party begins to walk onto the section that's level with the rest of the 3 interstates that are now connected. Who is the first one to cross?
Jerry?
So Gerry sets foot on the wooden walkway first, and it is stable. It does not bounce. It does not wobble. It is very stable. But you're looking at a gap of about like 12 feet. And the drop is pretty significant. We're talking like 35, 40 feet high. Gerry goes across, boots hitting the wooden walkway. At points, you imagine like this thing's gonna break and I'm gonna die. But you make it across. As soon as that thought fills in your head, you're already on the other side. Your feet touching the concrete and asphalt of this interstate, elevated interstate. Across from you, probably about another 30, 45 feet in front of you is another walkway. And there are cars kind of causing you to have to go crisscross if you wish to progress. You don't hear anything save for the sound of the wind.
And I'm looking around with my gun out too. Do I see anything?
Why don't you give me a perception survival test, please? DC of 2.
I gotta get a 10. Should I use one of those action points?
Yeah, we got 3.
We got plenty.
Okay, I'm gonna use one. Ooh, 2 successes.
You look around. This 3 lanes on this particular interstate section are clear. No corpses within the general vicinity.
To everyone behind her, Jerry's gonna give a thumbs up, but not say anything.
I turn around to Trish and Lance and I say, don't ever speak about this to anyone. And then I get down on my knees and I like walk along the wood stuff like very carefully.
I would do the same.
I get
would do
up,
the exact same.
brush off my pants, I turn around to face them, and I just like run my fingers around my mouth like making a zipper motion.
Who's next?
Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
If it breaks under my weight, I'd rather you be on the other side first.
Trish is gonna nod and head over.
And Trish makes it across easily as her boots touch the asphalt. Lance, I assume you walk across as well.
Yes.
And in your mind, you get flashbacks to that diner's roof collapsing under your weight, fighting the rat scorpion when you first met Trish. And as you get that thought in your head, you're already across. No instance of anything breaking or falling.
Yeah, he like exhales. Like, he held his breath the whole time. And he just continues.
All right, you guys are on the other side, and you realize now you have to zigzag to get around the cars that are kind of blocking the path to the next section. The next one looks even more sturdier because the gap is much closer, but it's still just as high. It's probably like a 5-foot gap now, but the distance is still about 30 to 45 feet above the ground. And I believe, Gerry, you're going across again?
Yeah.
You go across a much shorter distance this time. I would say now, as you can see that the wood has been anchored to the concrete via these large metallic bolts. This walkway itself has been built by, it seems like, probably Brotherhood, as the board itself isn't wood, but in fact it's like almost like a sheet metal that has the special rivets and things. And as your boots step across it, they make a loud like clang, 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 like a little. It rings out a little, and it kind of catches you by surprise. By the time you reach the other side,
I'm gonna assess surroundings again.
Okay, same thing. It's going to be survival perception, DC of 3 this time.
Oh.
Excuse me?
I gotta use an action point. Sorry, guys.
Okay, got one left.
So I can use luck to reroll 1, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Oh, nice. It's an 8. That's a success.
Amazing.
Now she can clearly see corpses, not skeletons, but flesh and bone corpses every now and then in between her and the next ramp, leading to the last elevated interstate. There are about 6 corpses in all. Some are on top of vehicles, some are inside of vehicles, and some are out on the ground. With that success, you can discern that all 3, as Gerry carefully, without moving, just kind of using her eyes to focus heavily on these corpses, she can see that all 6 of these corpses, as she kind of darts her eyes from corpse to corpse, are slowly breathing up and down.
She's gonna slowly crouch down. Yeah, and then turn to the other people behind her and like put a finger up to her mouth.
The rest of you are on the other side of the, I would call it, the walkway. I would say you're huddled closely together so you can see what she's doing and make as little noise as possible. So you see her put the finger over her mouth like, hey, shh, be quiet.
I try and like signal to her, like holding up my like hands to see like, and in a number sequence to see like when she says stop. And I go
I'll
like
stop
1, 2,
at-
3, 4.
How many are there again? 6? 6.
Okay, and I nod and then I pull my gun out and I try and walk out as quietly as possible.
I picture Sunny's eyes getting wider and wider as he's like,
Yeah. 1, 2, 5. I have to pull out a whole nother hand. Okay, 6. Okay, phew.
I'm gonna need you to give me agility sneak. DC 2.
Nope. I'm gonna use a luck point. I'm gonna use a luck point.
19. Yeah.
Right here. Reroll. Not as good, but not.
Okay, so not a complication, because that would have been a complication.
Yeah.
BT dubs. Damn. Okay. Damn. All right. Sunny walks across the walkway. Easy, quietly. Steps off, stands next to Gerry.
Can I pitch something?
Please.
Out of his coat or something, that bottle cap from that he got, like ding ding ding, and rolls and like makes some noise and hits something, but it's like you can hear a pin drop, you know?
Yeah. It falls out, hits the ground, and like rolls almost like an infinite roll, and it hits, I would say, like a hubcap or something, like clink, and falls over. Gerry looks at the quote-unquote corpses. Their breathing stops. It's just dead silence. What would you like to do, the rest of you who are on the other side of the walkway?
go over, yeah.
Yeah, let's just
I mean, we
gestures to
hear
Trish.
we hear this sound too, right?
Yeah, Trish, go ahead
we're
and
like,
give
"Ah,
me
We don't know better.
agility sneak. That's 1 success, right?
I'll use yeah, that's just one.
You
It's
wanna
just
use
a
luck
luck
point?
episode.
Go for it. Reroll
Do
that
it.
12. Hey.
Wonderful.
It's the luck using episode, but not the luck having episode.
Yeah.
I will say that Trish makes it across, and as Lance begins his crossing, one of the bodies, one of the corpses, you see it. I say Gerry sees it first, the leg twitch, and then Trish hears something to her right. One of the corpses that's kind of leaning on top of the hood of a car. Its arms start to shift and move, like it's pushing itself up off the car, like it's waking up. And its head dropped down a little. It turns. It's almost all of its body, its center of mass, is in its gut almost as it turns around and looks right at the group. And for a split second, there's a pause. Nothing moves. Everyone's attention's on the one that's now looking at them. And it almost looks like it looks at Sunny for like a sense of, are you the same as me or not? And he takes in the entire scene and just lets out a screech, like this gurgling screech as if its lungs have been filled with a liquid, and it finally gets to make noise, releasing pressure, and the others begin to stir.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crit's Wasteland Adventure, Fallout Evergreen. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by giving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or whatever platform you use to listen. It's easy, free, helps other people learn about the show, and we love to read your feedback. For more information about the show, visit @RespectTheCrit on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or come chat with us in our official Discord server. Gerry is played by Susan Spenader, who you can find on Instagram @SuzLalouz. Lance Burnett is played by Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes, who can be found on Twitter @XavierTD. Trish is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find on Instagram @JamieLee.Bones. Sunny Takase is played by me, your host, Ian Duncan, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @IDunks. Our guest GM for this game is Alex Herrera, who you can find on Twitter @AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. The original music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work, and tell them how much you like their music in our show. Our outro song is Some Things Never Change by Gavin Dunn. You can hear more of his work on Bandcamp and YouTube at Miracle of Sound. The Fallout 2D20 RPG system is licensed by Bethesda and published by Modiphius Entertainment. Special thanks to our friends at Modiphius. You can learn more and grab your own copy of the official Fallout RPG by visiting modiphius.net/respectthecrit. Special thanks to the team at Fallout Cascadia for use of their music. You can learn more about this incredible, ambitious Fallout 4 mod at falloutcascadia.com. And remember, whatever the system, whether it's a miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the wasteland.
My food's also here right as we started. Great timing. Awesome.
That was quick.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was fast.
Fast food. You just hit the button and say, I want this. Go. Get in your food right now, sir. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, first of all, don't call me
Sir.
that. Yeah.
People call my father, sir. Please call
Yeah.
me daddy.